Hi Yogi, welcome to your class today. Let's go ahead and get started in a seated position. I'm gonna begin with my legs crossed. If you want to practice with blocks today, I would recommend it. We'll have some hamstring openers at the very beginning of class, so taking blocks under your hands can just be comfortable. I don't have any, otherwise I would use them, but if you have them, go ahead and grab them, and let's go ahead and come into a seat. All right, so once you find a comfortable seat, just remove the flesh from underneath your sitting bones. Take a roll of your shoulders up and back, and then just close your eyes. Allow your hands to rest either face up or face down on your thighs. Taking a moment here to simply drop into the breath, into your body today. We'll be focusing on surrender today. So physically doing a little bit of a body flush followed by a nice long hip opening hold. And so just take a moment to notice or bring into your awareness just something that you might be able to let go of in order to create space for what's yet to come or what you would like to become. This could be a character trait you're not fond of. It could be something you've been holding on to emotionally that isn't serving you anymore. I want you just to invite in whatever it is for you and offer it up. Give yourself full permission to flesh it out throughout our physical practice today. As we all know, our asana is a mirror to our life most of the time. They're directly correlated, like reflections of one another. Let's all take a nice deep breath in. Long exhale. Let's do two more like that. Big inhale filling up through the side body, the back ribs, the chest. A big audible exhale through the mouth. One more time, breath in. Let it go. You can keep your eyes closed if you like. Slide your palms forward to the fronts of your knees. And then just allow yourself to curl the belly button back towards the spine, rounding forward through the chest a little bit. Keep the shoulders soft. And then as you inhale, begin to lengthen through the lower back, lifting your belly button towards the ceiling. And then let the ripple effect come through the spine. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Slide your chest and belly forward over the thighs. And then round back again, chin to chest. Pull the belly button back towards the spine and then towards the ground behind you, rounding through the back body. Inhale to lift the belly button, lift the heart, lift your chin, round forward. And again, glide back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, glide back. Take a couple more of these spinal waves, lifting the heart. And then spreading through the back of the heart. And just start to move in any way that feels good now. Right, so if you want to add in some circles around the hips, you can do so, making circles with the belly button. Maybe playing with movement in the shoulders, rolling one back, one forward. If you have a direction, go ahead and switch your direction. One thing that I have found is that emotionally, when I get stuck on something, right, normally my body is somehow reflecting that stuckness, right? There's something, some kind of stitch somewhere, some kind of discomfort or tightness or something that's just off, right? And so part of my strategy to surrender or let go of whatever that might be is going to start with the physical for me. That's not the case for everyone, but I like to really flush out physically. And then I can come into my meditations, my breath work, and continue the process of letting go emotionally. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way up to all fours and continue that movement, right? Just this free flow, sort of allowing yourself to surrender any ideas of proper alignment or engagement and just move as if you would move as if you've never practiced yoga before. You don't know any cueing. You don't know what's quote unquote right or wrong alignment wise. And just move your body. I'm going to take some barrel rolls, maybe hip circles around the knees. Simply move your body. And continue to move like this. If you'd like to turn your hands around, you can bring your wrists or your fingers rather to face your knees and just again continue your movements. You can make your way into some traditional cat-cows. You can take any movement whatsoever in all fours. If your wrists are turned around, go ahead and roll them out as you would place your hands back on your mat. And then glide your way right back into a downward facing dog. Keep moving. Continue to flush out the legs, the backs of the hamstrings. And gently lift your heels up high. Put a bend in your knees, pull your belly button away from your thighs, and then push harder into your hands. Get longer through your arm bones, the back body, and out through the sitting bones. And then keep the belly button drawing in as you slowly slide your heels back towards the mat again. Strengthen the quads, maybe even lift your toes up off of the floor. Inhale, lift your heels once again, pull your belly button in, round through the lower back and then through the back of the heart as you glide forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale as you lift your heart up and forward, lifting your tailbone up, slide back down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, roll forward, plank. Exhale, bend the knees, cow, pelvis tilt as you slide back. One more time, inhale, roll forward. This time as you exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin down towards the ground, hugging your elbows towards the side body. Inhale, untuck your toes, cobra. Roll your shoulders down the back. Pull your heart forward, press through the tops of your feet and thighs. Exhale, tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. Open up your hip here. Go ahead and tent the fingers of the right hand. Bend your knee as you open your hip. Continue to draw your belly in and lengthen your tailbone down so the front belly pulls in to lengthen the lower spine. From here, look up towards your left foot, over your left shoulder. And pull your belly in. Keep opening the hip. One more breath. And then ground down through your right hand. Pull your right knee towards your nose, rounding your spine, and then step your right foot forward. Come right onto your fingertips as you straighten through your right leg. Lift your left heel high And if you have blocks here, now's the time to use those blocks. And I want you to start to move again here. So maybe you're opening and closing that left hip. Maybe you're bending and extending your right leg. Just again, finding some kind of free flow within this variation of a modified pyramid. Just breathing into your right hip and hamstring. Lowering and lifting that back heel. Lowering and lifting the heart. So again, offering up whatever it is that you'd like to let go of today, continuing to let it flow outwards. Next breath out, bend into your right knee, plant your palms, press down to float the right leg back. Move through any vinyasa of your choice. Option to always take it directly back to your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Open up your left hip. Keep softening through the right heel. Come up to tented fingers on that left hand. Bend your left knee. Open your hips. Slide your right hip back though. Keep the lower back long, belly in. Then gaze up over your right shoulder at that right foot without lifting the eyebrows, without cranking the face. Keep pressing into the right hand. Take one more breath. Exhale, plant your left palm down, knee to nose, round and curl the spine as you step forward. Find your fingertips, lift your hips, sliding that left hip back, straighten the left leg. Lift your right heel high and then find movement. Right, opening and closing the hip, lifting and lowering the back heel or your heart. It might be tiny little micro movements here. Maybe they're big and fluid. You're doing what you feel in your body is right now. Again, as if you don't know much about alignment, there is no right or wrong. Just notice if there's anything that's kinked that could possibly be unkinked with these little movements, or maybe soft holds. Next, exhale, bend your left knee, plant your palms, press down to step back, move through that vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Okay. And from here, go ahead and take a nice big breath in through your nose. Big exhale, let it out through your mouth. And then again, inhale your right leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip, gaze up past that left shoulder, squeeze your right hamstring, heel to butt. Pull your knee to your nose, round your spine, step your right foot forward, come right back up into that pyramid pose. Lift your back heel high, just to give you some extra space. Maybe find your blocks. Keep your left fingertips grounded. Pull your right hip back as you press into that left leg and take your right arm up. Modified twisted triangle. Pull your right hip back, slide your heart forward as you peel both shoulder blades back and in towards your spine. Big breath in. With an exhale, circle your right arm down towards your mat, bend into your right knee, reach both arms forward. Good, charging crescent. I want you to pull your belly button away from your right thigh as you slide your right hip back. Inhale, reach your arms up, crescent lunge, bending into your right knee. Charge up your back leg as you lengthen your tailbone down, and then soften into your front thigh. Reach up through your fingertips as you drop the shoulders. Breath in. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Bend deep into your right knee as you squeeze that outer right glute, open up that right inner thigh. Pull your left hip back, lengthen your tailbone down. Good. Peel the palms to face up towards the ceiling, and then hug your scapulas in towards your spine. Keep your legs steady as you reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up, gliding that left hand either down your back leg or maybe wrapping it behind your back. And one more big breath in, breathe into your side body. As you exhale, find your extended side angle. Right elbow to right thigh. I want you to stay light in this right arm. You can even take your right arm across your belly to your left hip so you're not using, so much of your arm. You're using your core, your obliques to stay lifted. Keep peeling your left ribs open. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Stay deep in that right thigh. Exhale, take it to extended side angle again. Flowing with your breath. One more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. This time, inhale, reverse. And we'll go ahead and straighten through the right leg. Pivot your right toes towards the left. Release your right hand down to the back of your mat, pivoting the left toes to face the back of your mat. Lift your right heel, reach your left arm up, find a twist. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale to open up that top shoulder even more. Good. And then from here, lower your right heel towards the right. Take your left foot all the way up and back, stepping it behind you, finding your wild thing, offering up whatever that is that you're surrendering today through the heart, through that left hand as you stretch it out. Good. Big breath in, open up. Exhale, gaze down at your right hand. Move through your vinyasa nice and slow. Okay, take a big breath in. Let it go again. Working the body a little bit, it'll be that much sweeter when we arrive in our longer hold at the end of this sequence. Let's inhale our left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip, gaze up past that right shoulder, squeeze your belly in tight. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine, step forward, find your fingertips, straighten through your left leg. Inhale as you pull your heart forward, find length in your spine. Exhale, take your left arm up. Pull your left hip back. Stretch up through your fingers. Imagine that you're squeezing a block between your inner thighs here. Rotate the right ribs under the left ribs, keeping those hips square. Inhale. As you exhale, circle your left hand back and then down and then forward. Reach both arms up, bending into your right knee. Hug those inner thighs together. And inhale, crescent lunge. Reach both arms up overhead. Squeeze that imaginary block as you bend deeper into your left thigh. Lift your lower back ribs up towards the thumbs towards the ceiling. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, open up, warrior two. Line up your left heel with your right arch. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Glide into your front thigh. Keep your legs as they are. Reverse your warrior, sliding your right hand down your right leg, or take your right hand behind your back or to your left thigh. Breathe here as you draw the belly in, the tailbone lengthens towards the floor. Inhale, get a little bit longer through your left fingertips. And exhale, extended side angle, elbow to knee, or your right hand can come towards your right hip. And keep peeling, rotating your ribs open towards the ceiling, lengthening your tailbone towards your right heel. Feels a little sticky here, right? Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep the thighs as they are. Exhale, extended side angle. Using your obliques and your core. Inhale to open. Exhale, extended. Inhale as you open. This time straighten through your left leg, pivot your toes towards the right. Release your left hand to the ground as you pivot your right toes towards the front of the mat again. Lift your left heel, rotate open to the right, find your twist. Pull your right hip back, squeeze your right thigh towards your belly. And then rotate your left heel to the left. Step your right leg back and behind you, finding that wild thing. Lift your shoulder blades up into the heart like it's a shelf for the back of the heart. Relax your head back and down. Big breath in, press into your feet a little bit more. And then exhale, unwind. Vinyasa. And downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Good, inhale your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right armpit. Pause here, hold. Pull your right heel towards your butt, press the ground away, spreading through the back of the shoulder blades. Then inhale as you lower your right knee and right shin all the way down. Keep your left toes tucked. Firm up your left leg, lower the hips, sliding that left leg back a little bit more. Breathing into the front of your left hip flexor. I want you to imagine that you're pulling your left hip forward here. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, press into the ground, lift your right shin back up, and then come into half pigeon. Take your right knee behind your right wrist. Slide your sit bones down. Untuck your back toes, press the top of your foot into your mat as you walk your hands in. Lift your chest high. And then slowly glide your heart forward and down, keeping your right leg engaged. Make your way onto your forearms, maybe all the way down to your chest. And we're moving from flowy movements and transitioning into a long hold. So notice your physical or mental or both response to this transition. And we've kind of shaken things up, flushed things out, and now we get to just soften, right? Choosing to soften, to let go, to surrender over and over again, because here it can be easy to tighten back up without really noticing it. So I invite you to invite in a continuous body scan, relaxing everything from your head to your toes. Keeping engagement only where it's necessary. And surrendering any control over your facial muscles, your fingers, pit of your belly. And as your body continues to give and to let go, you can walk your arms out a little bit more. Maybe let your chest come down towards the ground a little further. Check in with your breath, with your thoughts. Consciously allow yourself Give yourself that permission, if necessary, to let go, to surrender, releasing anything that isn't serving you now, so that you can make space for what is important and what you'd like to invite in for the rest of this year. Continue to surrender physically, so if there's any holding in the body, bring your attention back to that. Choose to let go of it. If you're continuing to melt in your chest and your head, your armpits are down, you can continue to open the hips by sliding your left arm underneath your right, taking your left shoulder to the floor and your left ear down. Maybe your right arm goes up and behind you. If you find that that's too much, you just come back to center. If it's just intense, maybe you choose to breathe through it. Stay here for about 5 more deep breaths. Gently make your way up to your hands. Root through the palms as you send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward. Move through any vinyasa that serves you in this moment. Once you're in your down dog, take your left leg up and back. Pull your left knee into your left armpit. Hug it in, heel to butt, knee to armpit. Inhale, lower your shin to the ground. Slide your right foot back as you lower the hips down. Charge through the right thigh and pull your right hip forward, breathing into the front of your right hip flexor. Inhale, exhale, press down to lift up, knee to chest, foot to butt, and then make your way into half pigeon on this side. And so set yourself up, right, flexing those left toes, lining up your back leg with your back hip. Pull your right hip forward as you lift the heart high. Big breath in to make space. Breath out, ripple your heart forward and down, lengthening through your lower back as you go. And then settle in to this side. And just as I mentioned earlier in class, forget about sort of doing it right? I don't need this side to look just like the other side. Try not to get caught up in that. Instead, just go by feeling what feels right on this side, on this hip. Take any support that you need so that you can better surrender. You can relax even more deeply with the proper support. Relax your jaw. Relax the space between your forehead and between your eyes. Allow your right hip to become heavier. And if your body is responding, maybe lower down a little bit further. Alternatively, if you notice your body seizing up, maybe you give yourself more support, or you come out of the posture just enough to breathe a little deeper, to soften your muscles. If you took that rotation on the other side, you can slide your right arm underneath your left, taking your right shoulder down, turn your head to the left. Maybe reach your left arm up and behind you. And if you're there, make sure you continuously choose to soften. Your body's tendency might be to tense up as the sensation gets deeper. Make sure that you continue to let go, to soften. And if it's not possible, come back into the center. I'll take 5 more big breaths wherever you are. Gently support yourself as you come back up onto the palms. Lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. And just sway it out. And just like we did in the beginning of class, invite in a little bit of movement to flush out whatever's left over. When you're ready, lower your knees to the mat. Cross your ankles. And then lift your butt up and over your feet as you bring your legs out in front of you. Let's go ahead and come right onto our back. And bring your knees into your chest and just grab a hold of each shin with your hands and make nice big hip circles. So just pulling the knees in, pulling them out, and then forward and together. These big circles. Continuing to flush out any stuckness in the hips, which I tell you, after giving birth, I've never felt this tight in my life. And I feel like my hips are not even mine. It really feels like out of body weirdness. Right? But it's just one day at a time. Inviting in movement to flush out whatever's there, whatever I'm holding on to. If you haven't switched direction, go ahead and change. And then from here, go ahead and widen the knees out really wide apart from each other. I want you to take your palms and take them onto the inside of your thighs, so inner thighs. You can wrap your fingers around the inner thighs. I like to grab just behind my knees or just above my knees. And then from here, you'll slide your legs forward. You might even take your feet to the floor. My feet used to come to the floor. I'm, like I said, really tight right now. So just go as far forward with your legs as is comfortable. And you're just gonna rest here like we're in frog pose, right? Same thing, just upside down. So we've got gravity sort of pressing on our inner thighs. You can allow the arms to straighten completely if that feels okay for you, but if that doesn't, you don't have to. Let's take a couple more breaths. Take one more deep inhale. Big breath out through the mouth. And then slowly let your feet find your mat. And slide your legs forward and out into Shavasana, one at a time. Bring your palms to face up alongside your body. And just take a moment to make yourself comfortable. Now imagine whatever you invited in the beginning of class, whatever you wanted to surrender, to offer up. I now invite you to just imagine that idea or thought is kind of drifting out, floating away from you. And just witness this nice spaciousness in your heart. A place where you can invite in what's yet to come. Inviting in newness and freshness. Lots of space for whatever you want to become in this new year. I invite you to stay as you are for as long as you can. And if you can stay longer, just keep your eyes closed. You can simply listen as I close us out. If you're ready to continue on throughout your day. Go ahead and stretch your arms up overhead. You can draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock your hips side to side. And when you're ready, roll your body over to one side, resting there for a moment. And before pressing up into a seated position. And take your hands into your heart or place them on your body and thank yourself for doing this practice today. Noticing all that space that you've created after surrendering whatever was unnecessary for you to keep carrying. And let's move forward through our day with this just clean slate, open space. Namaste. Namaste, Yogi. Thank you so much for practicing. I'll see you next time.